Hi, everybody. It's a wee bit of alchemy. I'm Rick Barrett. Welcome. Today, we're going to fine tune some of the aspects of the Tai Chi form that we've been practicing, the Yang Cheng Fu's 13 original postures, and focus on two aspects. One is on the footwork. How do we align our feet in different postures? And to do that, I'm going to narrate through the whole thing, kind of really explain where I like to have the feet, where it gives the most bang for your buck. And the other thing is the idea of micro movements. That is, you're focusing on these tiny little adjustments in your movements, in your form, but also in your daily life. How you can just pick up your hand and just move from your wrist and just notice the effect that different positions have on you, how this feels different from this, from this, from this, from this. And each movement kind of reveals something else about your relationship to your body mind. So let's get right into it, and we'll first take a look at some of the footwork stuff, and we'll go through it, uh, with some clarifications on that, and then we'll take a look at some micro movement stuff. Let's start with our three pillars. Feel your three nails: heel nail, the ball of the foot, big toe. Those contact points with the earth. Now go to the heel nail. Yeah. Unlock your knees and feel yourself sinking down, releasing muscular tension and opening up the connection with the yin chi of the earth. Feel that connection to the big chi. Now reach with the crown of your head, tuck in your chin, open your jade pillow gate, and you're making connection with the yang chi of the heavens. We're looking for a central equilibrium here. We want to feel that point there, that sweet spot where the body's aligned with the earth and the sky. And we're accessing the big chi. Reach with your elbows a little bit, rotate your forearms, palm facing backward, opening up your shoulder joints, unkinking the hose in the shoulder. Central equilibrium now, and point with the index fingers and create some energetic coherence. Spiral down, release your hip joint, turn, nice and easy. And so we're unkinking the hose in the quad. We've unkinked the hose at the jade pillow gate, the shoulders. Now we're getting the quad. Back to center. And just pause and feel that energetic connection. In the form that we've been doing, the Yang Cheng Fu's 13 original postures, the footwork's a little different than it is in other forms that I've done. So just by contrast, ordinarily I'll say go to a bow stance and have a trough, between my feet. My one leg, my substantial leg be forward, and there'll be some space between my feet, usually about a foot width. So you have like this, and your foot is like that. Will be the 1 foot, the substantial foot would be ordinarily facing forward. Doesn't have to be, but like I like to line up the big toe, pointing the direction that my energy is going. So I'm going to line that up, and that you can check that out. This is true of most forms. That if I have it turned out like that, if my energy is going this way and my foot's going that way, there's a confusion in my body mind about what things are, where I'm directing traffic here. So I want to get it so that like that. Now in the Yang Cheng Fu's 13 original postures, we do it a little differently. That trough kind of disappears, and we want to line up so that the feet are in a straight line, pretty much. So the heels, if you drag your foot back, your heels are going to bang into each other. So there's this. You want your back foot turned out at roughly a 45-degree angle, and your front foot heading forward. So this one, you see it in profile here. So we turn this foot out on a 45 and step forward here. I'm going to have my legs pretty much in a straight line. Okay. Notice that my knee is almost, my shin is almost vertical. So I'm lining up that. What I don't want to do is push that forward too much. I want to line that up there. And in the Yang Cheng Fu, we like the back leg to be almost straight. So this is different than other forms I've done where it'll be the back knee will be relaxed. Now this one is it's almost straight, and the back it kind of lines up with the back leg. So you have an incline there. So whenever I take a step, let's say I'm starting off in my let's say my cloud hands posture, both feet are pointing forward. The big toes are pointing straight ahead. And go like this, and then when I want to make my step, it's the same thing. Toes are going to be pointing forward, step in, the feet are parallel. And then whenever I come out to my single whip, I'm going to step out. So when I step out, again, the heels are going to line up. And I'm here like this. I go open, and then when I turn, that's when I close down my foot down to a 45. And again, 45 is an approximation. And the reason for the 45 is so that I can get my hips around so that I'm facing forward rather than out to the side. If my foot is at 90 degrees, then there's a different quality there. I want to get it so that I'm directing my energies forward at the business end of the operation. So so let's go through the form. I'll turn my back to you, and I'm going to ask you to interrupt me if you have questions about any of this, so we can clarify this. Okay, so you begin. I like to begin heels together, toes apart. And I'm loading up my right leg and turning, so then I'm going to pick up my left foot and step out. The toes are going to be pointing forward toward the front. And then take, so my right foot now is on a 45, so I'm going to turn that in so that they're parallel. And I'm going to come up, down. So here, whatever I'm going into Yang. I like to go into the balls of the feet, press down with the big toe, reach, and that activates that Yang energy, and then sink into the heels as I'm going through the yin, as the hands come down. And then back down as I reach down, and I go back to the balls of the feet, press down with the big toes for that Yang, and then sink back into the heels. So now I'm going into the cloud hands. I'm going to spiral down into spiral down to the right, but I'm sinking down in my left foot, on my left heel. I'm spiraling down and then turning, going into the ball of the foot, big toes, I reach out. And I sink into the heel of my right foot as I spiral down to the left, and then go to the ball and press down with the big toe. They activate the Yang. And then left heel. The feet haven't moved here at all, but I am feeling the difference there. I'm going to the ball of my foot, press down with the big toe. So I'm really noticing where the yin and yang aspects of a particular movement are. Heel, ball, toe. Now I'm going to sink into heel and step out. Heel first, and then sink, and then ball, toe, and reach, step in, right heel, and right ball, right big toe. I go in my single whip, and I go back into heel, step out left heel, left ball, left big toe. And this is where, as I'm turning, notice that I stepped out. I want to have my heels lined up here. The length of the stance, it tends to be a little longer in the Yang Cheng Fu. Like say Master Chen's form, is more like the whip, single whip would be like that. Whereas in the Yang Cheng Fu, we want to get more of a pronounced length to the stance. So it's not as wide, but it's longer. So that's a general guiding principle. But don't worry about that too much. Do it as what feels comfortable for you. You want what feels stable for you, and you kind of lengthen it as you get more comfortable. Well, for right now. You're stepping out, and your right foot is on a 45 now, and you got that single whip. Now you sink into the left heel and step forward with the right foot, reach up with the right hand. So all your weight is in your left foot right now. And then sink in your left heel and feel the ball of your right foot. So you sink into your right heel, I'm sorry. Your right heel, feel the ball of the right foot and then right big toe. And you go on the left heel lightly. So your right leg is got pretty much all the weight, and you're what's happening is you're going like this. The left heel comes across. You can either Master Yang will sometimes pick up the foot and place it down. But the idea here is again, you want to just kind of pull that back and the heels are lined up together. So whenever you have this, the right foot, the back foot is on a 45. So you're having that as your basic idea. Also to the distance out. You don't want to, you want to have it pretty much like right in front of your other foot. So if it's too far forward, then it destabilizes it. You want to have your center of gravity in down through your right foot. And so the left foot is doing no work in terms of supporting you. So we're here like this. So now we're going to spiral down to the right and step out with the left. Well, you don't have to make a big step. You're stepping out with the left heel. Place the foot down. Feel the ball of the left foot and the big toe as you reach forward. With that, now you sink into the right heel and turn. And then right ball, right big toe. And this time you're coming around, you're slightly on the toe of the left foot. Again, just right in front of the right foot. And now we're going to step down with the right heel and then sink down into that. And then pivot on your, I sink down to the left heel. I'm sorry. You're stepping left heel and then you're
brush knee two step.
Yeah, well, how did I get there? I'm here like this. Okay. Oh yeah, coming down. I'm pressing down with the right hand. Now I'm sinking, turn my right foot out, and I want to have that sink into the right heel as I'm coming back and opening. And then step forward a little bit. You want a longer stance here. So you're stepping forward with the left foot so that it's lining up that straight line and comes through with the brush knee twist step. So right foot is on a 45, left foot is heading straight forward. And here the feet are not moving until we go into the play guitar. We go back into the heel of the left foot. We play guitar. So now we're going to pull the left foot straight back, empty, reach forward with the right hand, pull back with the left hand, and now step forward on the left heel, set the left knee spiral down, and then under the ball, big toe, and reach. Push down with the right hand, reach out with the left. Now you're sinking to the left heel and pivot on your right heel so that your right foot is facing toward the front wall. You sink into the right heel, spiral down to the left, pivot on your left heel. So a little trick on this one is you're going with whenever you're making your step. Let's say we're going from the play guitar, right? You're pulling back and stepping forward, and you don't want to make this step forward wide at all. You kind of want to set yourself up so that the heels are lined up there, so that whenever you make the next move, you pivot, and then you pivot again, you're lined up again, right? If you step out, I see some people do this. They go and they so they play guitar, they come back, and then if they step too wide, boom, then if they're going to pivot here, now you're off. You want to get these guys lined up there. So the key here is to here you step back, step forward, and line up your heels at this point. And so you're able to then pivot here, and your feet are lined up. So you can go into a horse stance.
Rick, just quick question.
Yes.
On every forward movement, the back leg is going to be straight.
Yes.
At an angle, just like with
yes. So
brush knee, the back leg is straight.
Right. Exactly. So your brush knee, you're like this, boom, right. Like that, single whip, same idea. All these things, all these movements we get later in the form, we're doing our ward off.
The knee's not locked though, right?
The knee is not locked.
The knee is still loose.
It is.
Even though the leg is straighter?
Almost straight.
Okay.
Almost straight, right.
Almost straight.
Don't lock
notice here, it's not like it's not locked, but it's almost straight.
Yeah, we don't lock anything up. Right?
Yeah, so that's a characteristic of this form.
Right. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we're so boom, so we pivot on the right heel, pivot on the left heel, and then go into a horse stance. The big toes are pointed toward the front wall, and then we sink in, then step in with the right foot. It's an empty step. Then you step out, again maintaining that heel to heel connection there. So you're boom, and you strike with back fist. And it's another one of those things, back leg almost straight, back lined up with it. Okay, and then you sink into your left heel and turn. The feet don't move here. Go into the right heel, right ball, press down the big toe and punch. Now I'm going to pivot on my left heel because I want to go back into the foot facing forward. Left hand comes down, step in with my right foot, right fist comes up, then step out again, another strike with back fist, and then I'm going to rotate that left foot so that it turns to a 45. I can reach out there a little bit better. I'm going to sink into my left heel and spiral down to the right, pivot on my right heel. This one, as I'm going in, I'm reaching out with that left hand, pulling back with the right hand, and my right heel, my right foot is turned out on a 45. But now I'm going to push my knee forward and then step up with my left leg. Step up and step forward with my left foot so that we have that straight line there. Sink into my left claw, set the left knee, spiral down, and then turn and punch. Same idea. Straighten that back leg. Right foot on a 45. And then sink into my right heel, circle the left hand, circle the right hand, and then pivot on the left heel now. Push the left knee out and step up. Turn. Step out with the right foot. As I step out with the right foot, again lining up the feet, and we're going into the ward off. Get to the right heel, left heel, Left ball and turn. Feet don't move. My left foot is on a 45. You get the left foot, wrist come up. You get the right foot, feet don't move. Ball and big toe. Press. Left heel. Sink. And right heel, right ball, and push. Left heel. Roll down to the right. Turn, pivot on the right heel. So now my feet should be lined up in a horse stance and sink and come up. Separate and heels, sink, and then right heel, step in, and feet are 50-50, and the ball to your feet, hands come up, stick to your heels, and disappear the chi. Okay, so before we go on, let's see if there are any questions that anyone has. Any clarifications needed?
That was great.
That's helpful?
Yeah, that's
Very
exactly
much.
what I needed.
Oh, good.
Exactly.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
So we will publish this so you can refer to it on YouTube if you like.
Okay.
Good. Okay. So what time we got?
Uh,
39. Okay, so let's take a look at the micro movement idea. And so basic idea that we're slowing.
I just wanted to clarify one thing on when you're in that long bow stance,
Yes,
at that end sequence,
yes.
you are changing your predominantly substantial leg back and forth, right? In other words, you're 70-30 on the front, then you're 70-30 on the back, then you're 70-30 on the front.
When
In that end sequence where you're going from ward off, roll back,
that okay,
press.
yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Right, yeah. So that's why I say, left heel, right heel. So that so when I say heel, that means that's the going to be the substantial leg there. We'll do that. So the idea of the micro movements is that, first of all, just to practice anytime, any place, is to slow down any movement. Let's say I'm going to raise my arm and just be able to pause at any point along the way and just notice that. Say, oh, let me bring my fingers together a little more. And just that little bit of contraction there has a different effect. If I then rotate my forearm and just, I want to feel that. I can pause at any place along the way and feel that. And one of the things this does is get you in the mindset to be able to make your own corrections while you're doing a form. You're not just kind of blindly going through the form and just whatever. You are bringing a high level of mindfulness to every movement, so that you can you can take 5 minutes on one movement if you want. You can just kind of and just notice, okay, where's my weight? What's my substantial leg right now? What's the which arm is substantial, whereas what's the direction, what's my shoulder doing, what's my elbow doing, etc. So you're bringing your mind to it, your E. So that means you're bringing your consciousness to the event. So so that whenever you are actually executing this, and you can then also bring in your heart spirit and raise that. You're raising your spirit then, but by using your E, your mind, you're able to establish a familiarity with the movement so that you can then let that go. You can use your E as a GPS. Say, okay, turn left here. Oh, raise your arm here now. Okay, good. And then, boom. So then you can shift into feeling the movement. You're not just talking yourself through it, but there is a certain level of mindfulness, conscious awareness, conscious intent that goes into that, your E. So let's go through that last sequence there from the
What up?
going from the second punch into ward off, roll back, press and push. And if we whatever time we have for that. So once you stand up and so we'll begin with our second ward off here, our second punch. So now we're going to sink it, feel that the right heel and spiral down to the right. And as you're doing that, you're going to, the right fist is going to open up, the left hand is going to open up, and your left hand is making a circle like this. Okay? Your right hand is making a circle like this. But doing it very slowly, we go and we sink, and we're sinking into that back leg. And as we open up, there is feel these two hands separating as they're going through their different circles there. There is a poles in opposition happening with that. You're sinking into that back foot, your right heel, as you're opening up there. And as your hands come down, just feel into that. And you want to be very aware of both hands as well as your feet, because now you're going to pivot on your left heel as you sink into that left heel. Now you're transferring your substantiality from the right leg into the left leg, and your right hand comes down as you sink into that left leg, and then step up with the right foot. And just feel that and spiral down to the left as you then step forward with the right foot. And you want to line up your feet as you're sinking down, spiraling down into that left heel. Reach with your elbows and feel your hands, your palms facing each other, and feel the chi that's creating this big ball between your hands. You're opening your shoulders and your back as you do this. And now you're going to feel the right heel. And now you're going to make the transfer of substantiality into the right leg by pushing the right knee forward as you spiral down into the right claw. You're spiraling down to the left. You're turning as you sink your substantiality into that right leg. Now you begin to turn. So you're activating your claw, you're pressing down with the ball of the foot. You turn and you reach with your elbows. Feel your back opening up, your shoulders opening up, and your right arm is hanging down, and your fingers are very relaxed. You continue to turn, and at some point you get to a point here when you start to now rotate your forearm and bring your palm so that it faces you in the center of your chest. You reach with your elbows, your left palm faces your right palm. Now sink into your right heel and spiral down to the right. And as you do this, you reach with your elbows, reach with your wrists, and open your arms. Your right leg is very substantial. You're reaching out with both arms, both hands. And now you sink into the left heel. You feel that left heel, set that, spiral down to the right as you do that. So you're releasing your left claw, spiraling down to the right. And now turn onto the ball of the foot. As you do this, you're reaching forward with your hands, opening your back, opening your shoulders, reaching with your elbows. As you turn, and then you end up with the palms facing, coming straight out from your shoulders, but down toward your waist. Now sink into your left heel, spiral down to the left. Just reach up with the wrist. Those wrists with the palms facing down. Your fingers are hanging. Very relaxed. Your right heel. You push your right knee forward, you're spiraling down to the left. But you're doing it into the right claw now. You just feel into that. Feel the impetus. You're winding up, so you're going to be turning to the right to do a press. But you're creating this energy between your arms, but also the energy between your right leg and the left claw, the turn to the left, your right claw, but turning to the left. And then now you're going to turn, press down with the big toe, and your right arm is like in a ward-off position, and your left hand comes into contact, and you have the press. Sink in your left heel and separate your hands. Very slowly reach up with your wrists, let your fingers hang. As you sink down into your left claw, your left leg, reach down with your elbows, your hands. Feel your wrists, your fingers come up as you bend your wrists. You're gathering the energy as you sink down. Sink into the right heel, right ball. Press down with the big toe, the right big toe, as you reach forward with your fingers. And you have your push. Just back that up a little bit. Just notice you want to set your lower body, reach with your elbows, and then just allow the wave to come through at you. If you feel your arms being pulled out. And then get back down. And then step back. Good. So, okay. Any questions on that? Richard,
That both of those exercises were just terrific for me. Thank you very much. Right on for what I needed. Thank you.
oh, beautiful. Good, 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 good. Debbie,
I felt the same way. I really needed the footwork. I wasn't aware of how much I needed that.
okay.
Until you went through it because I had been, I think I'd had my weight shifted in the wrong place at times. So that was really beneficial.
Great. Good. I'm glad it helped. Cool. Anybody else? Okay. Questions, comments, complaints? All good? All right. Good. So let's end off here. Thank you, producer.
Yep.
Thank you for
Thank you, everybody.
Thank
Love
you,
you
Marina.
guys.
Love
Thank
you guys.
you.
Bye-bye.
bye.
Hello.